The exhibition is called Minor Indignities. All the works in this show depict animals. I actually use a lot of materials and processes. So there are paintings, there are drawings, there are cutouts, and there are also pieces from the performance which are kind of sculptural pieces in various ways. I use a lot of collage. I like a very physical surface. And yet, on the other hand, in every piece, I love drawing these animals. So there is a lot of attention to their form and their texture and just their physical beauty and uniqueness. The title of the exhibition comes from a certain quality that I'm trying to get across when I depict the animals. I always go out and find my subject matter myself. I photograph the animals, I spend time with them. And one of the things that impresses me the most about them is both how human they are and also how mysterious they are. In this show, I was especially interested when they were doing something that was just a little bit, they seemed like they were a little awkward or a little embarrassed, something like the food was falling out of their mouth or they were drooling, or sometimes I do things to them like change one animal into another. I'm never sure if they would appreciate it or not. So it's those minor indignities that make them seem kind of, in a way, both most human and most mysterious. So that's kind of what I'm after in the feeling of the show. I really love the piece that I put on the announcement, the bison that has the food falling out of his mouth. They are so unself-conscious. They come up to you and they look so ridiculous. It's not just that their food is falling out of their mouth and they're drooling and their hair is a mess and their tongue is sticking out, and they completely don't care what they look like at all because they're curious and they come up. And at the same time, this really deep dignity and ridiculousness was a quality I think I caught really well in that painting. The bison in the picture is both really, I think, a beautiful animal and a dignified animal, and just so funny the way his grass is. When I make a piece like that, I spend a lot of time building up the surface, not just with paint, but with a lot of collage. If you look closely at it, you'll see that it's layered by cut paper that is, first of all, really thin pieces of paper that are cut out and painted and collaged on. And then as I go along, thicker pieces of paper that are also painted and collaged on, and then finally the grass that kind of comes right off of the surface. The combination of the kind of physical layering and then the kind of space that's created just by the colors and values gives a quality where it is real, almost to the point of reaching out into your space rather than just kind of sitting back on the wall. Another piece I really enjoy is the one that I call Memories of the Tropics. It's a picture of two camels and they're trudging through the snow. But you can tell that they're wishing that they were anywhere else. So I tried to present them in a way where you were both aware of their kind of very patient trudging along and also what they might imagine or be wishing for. And so I created above a little vignette of a landscape from Mexico where it was warm and bright and colorful and full of vibrant colors. I was imagining that maybe they got boring to the camels as well and that they were imagining something greener and warmer. There was a call for exhibitions that might fit in the theme critical contact. I think my work fit perfectly. One of the things that I think is specific to my work is that I always try to kind of reach out and grab my audience a little bit more. I always try to kind of create some kind of value-added aspect to my work. So when I make a picture, there will always be either something unusual in the glance of the animal or something unusual that I do physically with the work in terms of the collage or the materials or something like that. And that extra little reach toward the viewer I think of as a kind of critical contact too, not just about animal versus person, but artist versus viewer. The performance was actually a musical performance that had the same title, Minor Indignities. It came about when I was in this area and I saw the Ballet Russe show at the National Gallery, which is a show of artists who designed costumes for the Russian ballet in Paris. And I was really impressed with the relationship, the way that artists working in different art forms came together collaboratively, and each one maintains its own voice, but the whole of the performance was greater than the individual parts. That's something that I think in theater and in ballet is kind of native to the art, so I was interested in doing a collaborative piece. I have a friend who performs with a DC-based chamber music ensemble called Inscape, and so I approached her about possibly doing a music performance at my show that would, in some kind of way, engage with each other. What I took from the Ballet Russe model was the idea that costumes would be the joining point between the music and the art. And the goal of the performance was to really have 3 distinct voices that came together. Each of the 3 artists, a musician, a costume designer, and me, coming together to make an art event. The performance involved these plaster feet and music stands that the musicians would kind of walk up to. So rather than wearing the costumes, they sort of approached the costumes or became the costumes. And the costumes clearly related to my work. They were animal forms, they had hair, they had claws, they had various textures that would make very clear references to my work. And even the colors that the musicians wore, the colors of their shirts, came directly out of certain paintings. The man is wearing a blue shirt that was selected to relate to the blue in the kangaroo sky, and the orange related to the flamingo, and so on. So there were clear visual relations between them. I was also looking for a combined collaborative event that had the strangeness that my work has. So it's not a direct quote or a direct interpretation, one thing and another, so much as that the event carried the strangeness that I think is so important and so native in my work. Besides being an artist, I am a professor. I teach painting and drawing at Kutztown University in Pennsylvania. And I'm the chair of the Fine Arts Department there, which is a fairly large art department. One of the best aspects about going into this was that it was very generously funded by a grant from the Kutztown University Foundation. And there was a second grant that came along with it. It's called the Marguerite Bierman Project Grants. And what they are is they fund students to work with professional artists. So I had 2 Bierman students who worked with us through the whole making of the feet and making of the music stands. And they were much more than just labor. They were very, very involved in the concept. They made creative decisions along the way. The combination of the funding from Kutztown University and the inclusion of these 2 students in the project grant made the whole performance, I think, so much richer and more interesting, and allowed us to do all kinds of things I think we couldn't have done had we not had that background. I really enjoy being here. This is about my favorite kind of space that I could ever show my work in. Some people really like a very pristine gallery setting where you walk into the room and see the whole thing. My preference is for an open space. I love a space where you come around the corner and get surprised by something that you see instead of seeing the whole space all at once. And this one is exactly everything that I really love from a space. So the combination of the atmosphere and the architecture and the relationship of university to university, I think all played into the way that the performance looked at the end. There are certain things I think that are specific to all audiences when they look at my work. I think my work really has a human quality. I hope that people enjoy my work. I hope they laugh at it sometimes. I hope that they feel some kind of connection with my subject matter. I tend to think of my work as kind of big tent art. I think you can approach it from a lot of different levels, from being a very casual art viewer to being a very knowledgeable art viewer. I very much hope that knowledgeable art viewers respect my work, but I love it when casual art viewers like my work as well. So in general, I think that there are a lot of different levels that you can approach my work, but most of all, I would hope that everybody who engages with the work would do so kind of as just a human kind of being confronted by the gaze of the animal and making of it what they will. I'm very grateful to Montgomery College, not only for the opportunity to show, but for their willingness to allow the performance and to facilitate it and to let me kind of explore in that direction where I'd never had the opportunity to before. And so this was a really great opportunity to put that out there just about as broadly as I could possibly ask for. I really appreciated it.
exhibition title is My Life Journey as an Artist and as an Educator. Retrospective exhibitions spanning over 40 years of creative works. As I am going to retire, I have decided, and gallery committee accepted, to let me have retirement exhibition so that I will have one more semester to let the student see all my life's work since I've been teaching here 1972. Types of metal works is art jewelry, such as necklace, pendant or brooch, and rings. And then hair ornaments like tiara, vessels such as functional bowls, tea and coffee set, sculptural forms which are vessels or containers, but they resemble human form. So when you look at them, they are like more sculpture, as well as freestanding sculptures, as well as wall sculptures, such as wall mirrors, but they're all decorated sculptural forms with hammered human forms, cranes, they're all done hammering and hollow constructions, butterflies, lily pond leaves and flowers, and clouds. You will see all the items from personal ornaments and sculptural forms in space and the wall. When I was in second semester of third year as a graduate student, I was notified by my own professor that there's a job opportunities available at Montgomery College. So I applied the job and I got the offer. So I have decided to come. So since 1972, I've been teaching here over 41 years. So teaching here at two-year college in the metropolitan of Washington, D.C., it gave me lots of professional opportunities. It gave me to really think and teach and conduct in various different age groups. Being a Korean American, it gave me a chance to travel many different countries as a Fulbright professor to Korea. This school has given me so much opportunity for me to grow as an artist and as an educator. Some people like to just leave the hole so that you can see the color behind. Or some people like to put the stone setting. So it's up to you. I think being here at the college, students will have plenty nourishing educational background as well as shaping up to be a great college student. Even if they just left the high school, they will be able to grow up as a mature college student. For faculties, I think this school gives enough opportunity for us to grow as a professional artist as well as educator. For me, I have traveled to so many countries such as Taiwan, all over the Korea, China, Netherlands, Norway, Russia, Canada, France, England. So many metal arts community students and professionals, professors, they know about Montgomery College. So they think Montgomery College is better than four-year school. Earlier part of my career at Montgomery College, all the faculties here at the Rockville campus, they are so dedicated in their own program and very knowledgeable and internationally active. Now these days, all new coming professors, they are a little bit different, but they bring different types of education, such as looking at the art as not only painting, sculptures, and design and drawings, but they teach art as a whole, such as internationally active installation work, and 2- and 3-dimensional works are all combined. And I think it's great to have new young faculties coming here and give fresh outlook and professionally knowledgeable for our students. I wish students and faculties acknowledge my effort about metal arts. It's not just jewelry making, it is art jewelry and art metals.
The first thing that comes to mind when I think about Komelia and the program that she's put together is the unique quality of the experience that it affords students here at the college. We are the only jewelry and metals program at a 2-year school in the state of Maryland. She likes to teach this class as if she were teaching at the junior and senior level of a 4-year school. And one only has to look at the work that comes out of the studio to realize that the quality of what gets done there is really quite remarkable.
She has brought a pretty reputable aspect to the department by the manner in which she put together the medals program. We were well aware of the kind of program that she had put together here as exemplary, a program that gives the students a thorough foundation in small medals. She brought the reputation right to this room, to this place, from far beyond the walls of the department. Nationwide, really, I would say.
It's been a lot of fun. We've gotten to try working with some tools that I would have been really intimidated to use before having been in this class. Professor Okim has a way of just kind of saying, you know what, get in there, get it going, start that torch. I know it's scary to be working with it, but it's really been great to have her as a mentor here.
I think she's a great teacher. She has the patience of Job, and her ability to be flexible with what we want to do and what the outcome is supposed to be is very good. I've enjoyed her class tremendously. I've learned so much.
What Komelia leaves behind when she retires is a program that has been set up to endure and continue for years to come. We've been very fortunate to have her here, and after 40 years, I don't know if she's ready to retire really, but we wish her well and we will miss her.
She's leaving behind, I think, well, besides a lot of appreciative people, both students and faculty. She was a wonderful colleague to have. But I think many students will attest to what she has given them, the kind of passion, the kind of focus as a designer in metalsmithing. But also she's leaving behind, I think, a physical and substantial program that will last for a very long time. So she'll be sorely missed.
It won't be the same not having her here, but I know her legacy is going to live on, and she has a number of pieces displayed here and is continue to be an integral part of the campus. And I know we're not going to totally miss seeing her around here. She's still going to be around, so she's been great.
I wish her well. I think she should reconsider and do one more semester. That would be nice, but I wish her all the luck and wonders. I'm sure she'll enjoy herself.
I would like to departure from. I'd like to thank to art department faculties and students and administrators who have given me such an opportunity to have this exhibition with a special announcements and biography booklet and banners and posters. Whole school gave me such an affection and opportunity to show off my 41 years of life here.